the line 9/10 of a second ahead of A.J. Myers. Heat number 3, Danny Fromell crosses the line 9/10 of a second ahead of A.J. Myers. So again, if A.J. could just get a little extra out of that machine, we'll see what happens. They get around Danny Fromell as Danny makes his way out. There's the 37. So shifters will get a hot lap, get them ready to go, and here's how we'll line them up. Starting on the pole, the 37, Danny Fromell. Outside row 1, the 28 of A.J. Myers. Starting third, and this has been a starting spot for the entire weekend for the 12 of Colin Daly. Of course, this heat number 3 was a little bit tougher for Colin. Dropped back a couple spots, fought his way back to a third-place finish. Colin Daly has qualified third, 3 straight heat races. He finished third, and he'll start third here in the pre-final. Brian Hassel in the 71 starting 4th. Richard Heisted in the 81 5th. Diaz Cavallo starting 6th. Cole Matheson in the 3 starting 7th. Andre Sabalas starting in the 8th spot in the 85. Benjamin Hankinson in the 249 9th. 10th, it'll be the 2 of Chris Gannon. Ricardo Flores will start in the 11th spot. This will be 18 lap short shifters. Can A.J. Myers get a little extra out of that 28? We'll find out. Hand up, flag about ready to be raised, and a good battle coming into turn 1. Fromell with the advantage. A.J. going to go to the outside. Boy, did they come off the line strong. Good little battle, but again, it's a familiar sight. The 37 takes the field into turn number 3. Again, the importance coming off that line is unbelievable. Both of those drivers, again, came out strong. A.J. going to rubble a little bit now. He's got the advantage in turn 7. And unfortunately, unable to get around Danny Fromell. Boy, you talk about a bag of talent right there. 1-2. Fromell, your world champion. This guy has been unbelievable. Watching Danny over the years, and we chatted a little bit back in Ocala. We talked about 2010 running here in Orlando with the Florida Winter Tour. And then he tore him up. He said, "You remember that?" I said, "I certainly do. I remember calling that name." Now he's under the gun coming into turn 1. Meantime, scooting up a spot. That will be the number 3. Boy, Cole Matheson coming out of the gate strong. Cole now number 3rd in the 3. Moved up 4 spots. Started 7th. He is now being scored 3rd. In behind him, some tight traffic behind him. And again, that'll be Brian Hassel. You got Carvalho, Hankinson, Sabalas. So some good traffic and some good racing in behind that 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th spots. As Danny Fromell had his work cut out early, now he heads down the backstretch with a good 3-kart length lead. Lap number 2, Fromell with a 52.954. Couple very good drivers. Boy, they really talk about class of the field right here. 1-2 as they come off turn number 1. Fromell and A.J. Myers, 1-2. Yeah, the 71. That's Brian Hassel. Brian battling in that 4th place position, slipping and sliding around, trying to hold off some competition behind him. Lap number 3, A.J. Myers, 52.037. That's quick time. And unfortunately, he's about 2 kart lengths behind your leader into turn number 9. They'll exit off turn 9. Come on, marking them, hitting them shifts. Now you see a little bit of a gap between 1st and 2nd into turn 10. Again, Fromell, quick time, 52.203. A.J. Myers just a tad quicker, 52.037. Yankin holding on to that 3rd place position. Colin Daly, it's been a mark for him. He's finished everything all entire weekend. Talking about Colin Daly. Finished 3rd in qualifying, 3 straight runs in the heats. He's finished 3rd, although he's had to work for that 3rd place finish in heat number 3. He did shuffle back to about 7th in heat number 3, but Colin Daly been a very consistent driver. as he holds on to third place right now, 2.5 seconds behind your leader. And we got a brand new leader. It is A.J. Myers. And now battling again, backing out of it on the entry to turn 10 is Famal. So A.J. Myers takes it over here in lap number 4. 18 laps and a brand new leader. How about that, A.J. Myers? We have not seen much of that. A.J. as your leader, still a long way to go. Now Danny from All going to try to get over to that top position. They'll work their way into turn 4. Good battle up front. So A.J. Myers, see if he brings his A game right here as they cross under the arch. Now look at Danny from All. Boy, did he fade back coming off of turn number 4. Look at the gap now. Boy, from All came under the arch and just kind of faded back. We'll see what happens. Does Colin Daly close up that gap? We'll keep an eye on from All. They were nose to tail coming under the arch, and all of a sudden, they separated big time. So A.J. Myers with a little bit of breathing room. There's Danny hitting them shifts. He's really working it out off of turn 1. Colin Daly. Now your top 4 drivers really stretching it out. Cole Matheson. Good run going for Cole Matheson. How about Cole right now? Sits back in the 4th position. A.J. Myers, 9/10 of a second advantage over Famal. Got to wonder something maybe not up to snuff on the 37 machine because they were bumper to bumper a lap and a half ago, and A.J. Myers opens up a 9/10 of a second advantage. Of course, it doesn't hurt that A.J. Myers in lap number 6 just turned a 51.802, and he's the only driver now in the 51-second bracket. So A.J. Myers may done his homework, and he right now has got a 9/10 of a second advantage over Danny from All. Good racing coming on for that 3rd spot. Daly going to feel the heat. That's the 3 machine of Cole Matheson. Boy, good run going for Cole as he starts to work on Daly for that 3rd place position. Meantime, your leaders come under the arch. They'll trip the timing scoring loop, making their way into turn 7. And Famal shaved about 0.3 of a second off that one. Famal turns a 51.715, and that's a new track time. So right here in this race, 51.715. Again, we'll correct that new race quick time, 51.715. So if we thought maybe there was a problem with Famal, looks like that is gone by the wayside. As Famal will keep the heat on A.J. Myers. Again, early leader. Danny Famal running 2nd. There's A.J. on the entry to turn number 1. Boy, Danny really hard, quick into turn number 1. Connor Daly still fighting off the 3 machine of Cole Matheson. That is for that 3rd spot. 7 laps complete now. They cross the line. 8 laps in. So 8 laps complete. A.J. Myers with a 0.6 of a second advantage. Fastest card out there right now is the 37 from All with a 51.715, 0.6 of a second behind your leader. All of a sudden, Colin Daly's trying to shake away from the 3 machine at Cole Matheson. A little separation there. Those guys were really duking it out for a while. All of a sudden, Cole Matheson getting a little bit of, Colin Daly getting a little bit of breathing room now over Cole Matheson. So from All might be back to work now as he closes in on A.J. Myers. They'll come off at turn number 2. Escobar at 52, currently being scored in that 5th place position. He's got Brian Hassel, Benjamin Hankinson, Sabalas all in behind him. So some good racing there. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. So 9 laps complete with pick up the halfway point. 2 different leaders. Danny from All came out of the gate as your early race leader. At about 4 or 5 laps, A.J. Myers takes it over. Now your current leader from All, 0.4 of a second behind your leader. Colin Daly running 3rd. Cole Matheson 4th. Matthias Guerrero running in the 5th spot. Brian Hansel 6th. And Benjamin Hankinson in the 7th spot. Sabalas currently running in the 8th position with 9 laps in, 9 to go. Back to lap number 9. Danny from All, 51.703. That's quick time for Danny from All. So 10 laps complete. From all about 0.3 of a second behind your leader. And Danny just turned to 51.633. 51.633 for Danny from all. Again, it's starting to heat up again. Again, we need your attention in the pit area. Need a Nissan model Versa, tag number CIG D85, red color. That car needs to be moved immediately. Again, this is a Nissan Versa, red. It needs to be moved immediately. Now Danny from all again. Danny fell about 0.9 of a second behind your leader, and he's in sight now with A.J. Myers. They'll come into turn number 3. So Danny reeling it in. Kind of curious what happened to Danny. He did drop to about 0.9 of a second gap, and now he's about 3-4 kart lengths behind your leader. Caught about 0.3 of a second. And from all right now with overall quick time, 51.633 for Danny from all. And Danny has swept everything, qualifying 3 straight heat events, and now he's got a challenge ahead of him. As they'll go down that long straightaway here at the Orlando Kart Center, 0.62-mile track. Yeah, and hoping you're enjoying the broadcast as we're working on race day number 2 here in the Rock Cup USA Championship weekend from the Orlando Kart Center. And pretty warm temperatures, pretty much what we expected here in September, right around 90 degrees, a light breeze from the east to the west. Under partly cloudy skies and dry conditions. It's been dry the last couple days. See a lot of rubber in the turns. You can see some of those dark areas. And they'll cross the line. 12 laps complete this time. Fomal with a 51.7. Gives me 51.575. So from all with the quick kart. Now again, a lot of experience with this guy. We talked about him winning all around the world. And he's a good one. Right now he's about 0.2 of a second behind AJ. You see him separate a little bit down the straightaway. So they'll work it out. 12 laps complete. 18 lap pre-final. And up next will be Shifter Master. And AJ Myers nice and smooth. Not going to be rattled at all. So from all show that he's able to get there. Meantime, how about Colin Daly? Again, this has been the spot he's been sitting at third the entire weekend. And we touched on it a little bit ago. Third across the board, 3 straight heat races, third place. And he finished third in qualifying. Boy, Cavaro, Hankinson, Sabalas, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all mixing them up. So 13 laps complete. A.J. Myers, again, your second different leader, took it over early in the race. When they came out, that green flag dropped. They were right there neck and neck going into turn number 1. Danny Fromall was just a tad stronger. Lasted for a few laps. And looking at the 52, Carvalho with that 52 at Hankinson Sabalas. That'll be 5th, 6th, and 7th. But again, some good nose-to-tail racing for those drivers. But up front, it continues to be A.J. Myers, 14 laps complete with 4 to go. And A.J. very strong off the exit of turn number 9 when he shoots down that long straightaway and able to gain that ground. Danny Fromall as they continue to move around. And A.J.'s been very good. You can just watch his hands. You can watch the movement of that kart. Hits his shifts on the entry into turn number 2. Very good exit off of turn 2. He'll head into turn number 3 with a good 5 kart length advantage over Fromall. See if Danny can reach in there and get a little bit more speed out of that 37. So working on our Rock Shifter seniors. Masters coming up next. Our last pre-final today will be the Masters. So 15 laps in. Working on our last 3 laps to go. 2 different leaders. With A.J. Myers taking over early on in this event, and he has held on to that top spot. Fromall has gotten into about 2 kart lengths behind him, and that's the closest he's got on him. And right now, they are separated by about 0.8 of a second. So A.J. cruising right along. He'll exit off at turn number 2. Another great run, though. How about Colin Daly, third place again, and he kind of had to work for it. You know, we've seen him battle in heat number 3. He got all the way back to 7th and fought himself back into the third place position. And right now, again, he's kind of settled down into third with the final 2 to go. And he's worked on it because the 3 of Cole Matheson really battled with him for quite a few laps. And that has kind of settled down now. Colin's starting to break away. He's got a good 3.5 second advantage now over fourth running Cole Matheson. So again, 3s are wild for the 12 machine of Cole Matheson. Or correct, that'll be Colin Daly, who sits back in third against where he's been all weekend. So A.J. Myers coming along. He licks it off at turn number 2. Last time by is about 9/10 of a second between first and second. So white flag up, 1 to go. AJ with a 7/10 of a second advantage. Colin Daly running third. He's 8.4 seconds behind your leader. Colin, best lap time with a 51.835. He did that in lap number 14 for third place running Colin Daly. So A.J. Myers cruising along. You can see that huge advantage now. He's got over Danny Fromall. Danny kind of looks over to his right side, sees the gap he's got. So A.J. Myers going to win this battle. We'll see the final a little bit later on. As A.J. Myers finally breaks the Danny Fromall streak, he'll cross the line, and he scores the win. Fromall across the line, 4.9 seconds behind your winner. And I'm going to tell you right now, about 4.3 of that just came in the last couple turns as Danny just kind of shut it down and coasted home. So I wouldn't take that to heart, really, that 4.9 second advantage. I mean, he was about 9/10 of a second and competing. Danny kind of shut it down. So here's your rundown. Myers scores the win from all second. Daly third. Matheson fourth. Brello picks up fifth. Hankinson, Sabalas, and Hollis will round them out in your final or pre-final in your senior. So we'll get a ready to go for your Masters, our last shifter group, and then we'll move on into our finals.